Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Victor of Cars Jubilee. I apologize if it's a little loud. I don't have a roof right now. So, I was actually planning today to do a video of how my Vision roof had finally been replaced and how my Ioniq 5 was finally back to being whole again. I was really excited to do that, but things didn't quite work out the way I was expecting when I woke up this morning. So let me explain what happened. So I woke up this morning expecting to call the body shop to confirm that the Vision roof had been replaced yesterday evening, and then I was going to take the rental car to Hertz, and then I was going to take a Lyft to the repair shop. I started calling the body shop around 9 in the morning, and I kept trying up until about 12:30, and I couldn't get a hold of anybody. So then I thought, well, I've already extended the rental multiple times. I can't do it again. I need to get this rental car back, and I need to figure out what the heck is going on with my car. Hopefully it's done. So I started driving to Hertz while calling the body shop. Still couldn't get a hold of anyone. I returned the car, I get in my Lyft, and as I'm on the way to the body shop, I get an email from Sunroof Express telling me, hey, the body shop was trying to install your glass roof yesterday, and then they realized that it was chipped. And in my head, I'm thinking, what are you guys talking about? I just talked to the body shop yesterday afternoon. They said it will be done this evening. That was Thursday. This is Friday. You mean no one bothered to tell me at any point between Thursday and Friday noon that my car, in fact, was not done? So I was pretty upset, because they could have just called me at any point to say, hey, sorry, your car is not ready. Instead, I went ahead and returned the rental car already, and then I was already in the Lyft. So at that point I was like, oh, gosh, whatever. I'm just gonna go to the shop and see what the heck is going on. So I get there, and the body shop owner is like, yeah, you're the guy that's been calling me all day, right? And I'm like, yeah, I've been calling all day to try to figure out if the car is done or not. And he's like, yeah, we tried to install it, but there's a chip. Let me show you. So he takes me to see the replacement roof, and he shows me this tiny little chip, and he's like, yeah, I didn't want to put this in because it's not right. So once we started talking a little more, I started to calm down a little more. I was like, hey, I completely get it. I appreciate you guys not wanting to put in something that's already cracked or chipped. I said, in fact, I may not have even noticed it. It's such a small one, but they said, no, we didn't want to put it in. Worst case scenario, it starts cracking again. And I said, yeah, I totally get it. I appreciate you guys taking your time. That's totally fine. I just wish that someone had conveyed that to me at some point this morning while I waited. And he said, yeah, you know, Sunroof Express told us they were going to call you. And I said, they never did. So then I said, well, what are our next steps? He said, well, basically, we're waiting for a new replacement roof for you at this point. And I said, well, is the car okay to sit out here like this for the next 30 days? Well, the garage had said, yeah, you can stay out here. It should be okay, but obviously we'll bring it in at night. And if it rains, we'll bring it inside. But they did say that they would be bringing it in and out of the garage pretty much every day because they need the space inside to work. So at that point, I thought, I think I'd rather just bring it home. That way I know it's in my garage and it's safe, nothing will happen to it. I can keep an eye on it. And plus, at that point, we weren't really sure how long we would have to wait. I was assuming it was gonna be maybe another 30 days of waiting. So I didn't really feel comfortable knowing that my car would be out there for at least a month. So I figured I'll just bring it home and we'll see what happens. So I said, can I drive this thing home? I have a garage. Maybe it's easier if I just store it in my garage. And they said, yeah, we can tape it down for you so that you can make it home. I said, fine, let's do that. So, you know, they took their time and they did this nice little cutout roof for me to try to make it look nice. And so this car is going into the garage as soon as I get home, and it's staying there until they tell me they have a new replacement vision roof for me. But actually, you know, it was nice getting to spend some time with those guys at the shop. They actually explained to me how this whole replacement process works. They had to cut this roof out, and that meant that they had to use a metal wire. They had to basically stick it through the seam, and once it was through, they had to use that wire to saw the entire roof out. One guy's on the inside, one guy's on the outside, just going back and forth, and they said as they were doing that, the wire actually split, and the guy on the bottom punched his own face and actually knocked out one of his teeth. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And the guy's like, nah, it's okay. My teeth are already pretty messed up. I did have a tooth here before. And I was feeling really bad at that point. So I told them, hey, I appreciate everything you guys have done. Let's just get this car home and we'll figure out the next steps. So they get it taped up, I get ready to leave, and I start setting up my GoPro so that I can film this. And I take a quick look around, and then I realize, uh-oh, there's a little rip in the headliner. I don't see any scratches in the paint, and they said, hey, we took so much time and effort to make sure we taped everything off, to make sure we were careful so we didn't damage your paint. And so I was like, I feel really bad calling them back in to look at this, but I have to, right? So I said, hey, do you guys mind coming out? There's a rip in the headliner. And they're like, what? Rip in the headliner? We were so careful. They came out and they looked at it, and they're like, oh man. Like they were pissed at themselves, because they were like, yeah, we spent so much time trying to be careful. We spent about 4 hours trying to cut this roof out. And I was like, do you guys at least get paid to replace it? He's like, yeah, what'll happen is we'll put the claim back in through your insurance, and they'll still pay us to actually do the work of replacing it. I was like, all right, I'm glad you always get paid for it. And he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. We feel bad that we did this to your car. We want to get it right. We want to get it fixed. When I was driving to return the rental car, I was calling the body shop probably every couple of minutes, thinking, I'm just gonna keep calling until someone answers. I really did feel bad about how I was acting, and I told them, hey, look, I appreciate everything you guys are doing. And you know, they said, hey, we want to make sure we do this right. So I think going to the body shop was actually a good thing. You know, I don't like how it happened, because I ended up going there expecting that it was done, but the end result was that I got to understand what's been going on, and now I think I have a better relationship with the body shop, to the point where I do want them to actually finish the work. Now, as I mentioned before, when I got the initial email from Sunroof Express, I was in the Lyft, and we were literally pulling up to the garage. So I read maybe the first 2 sentences, and it was a pretty lengthy email. But anyways, when I finally got home, I had a chance to read the whole email from Sunroof Express, and then I realized, oh wow, they already placed an order for a new replacement glass roof. In fact, they said it should be here by November 9th, whereas this day was November 4th. So about 5 days, which is really quick. I was expecting about a month. And they said what happened is they went ahead and placed the order themselves, bypassing insurance authorization, because last time that took weeks, maybe even a month. So that meant that they were placing the order out of their own pockets, and I guess hoping that they would get reimbursed for it later. So at the end of it all, I am thankful to Sunroof Express. I appreciate the fact that they went ahead and placed the order without insurance authorization. That clearly speeds up my timeline to get my car back. So yeah, that's definitely really nice of them. Now the guys at the shop said they did check the glass before they tried to install it, and everything looked good. But once they had the glass on the platform ready to actually load in, that's when they noticed the tiny chip on the corner. And that's when they said, hey, we can't install this thing. So I do appreciate them catching that and refusing to install it, because they were saying, worst case scenario, once you start driving, that thing might actually crack again on its own. At the end of the day, they're the ones that caught that chip. I probably wouldn't have seen it myself. So this saves me the hassle of possibly having to replace it again later down the road. So yeah, all in all, things worked out. You know, got a little crazy in between, but ultimately I'm thankful that I have my car back in my garage for now, and hopefully we should have it all wrapped up pretty soon. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope this audio is still audible. I know there's a lot of noise coming in because I don't have a roof. Normally the Ioniq 5 is a very quiet car, so if you're new here, no, it's not normally this loud. It's because I don't have a roof right now. I'll definitely be coming back with another update once we know what's going on, or maybe I'll just come back with an update when it's finally all said and done. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.